David G talking, sunrise in the morning, memes on the air, feels like a warning. Crypto waves crashing, finance ain't boring. Internet dreams when my coffee's pouring. Static buzzing airways, humming so low. Charts rocking, sticking like Velcro. Meme lords not getting in the flow. Digits dancing, steady tempo glow. Mean talk radio, early dose of funny. Games and giggles, listen for the money. Don Steen got the scoop, news tasty like honey. Crypto buzz mix, it never feels too sunny. Doge barking, Sheba got a tone. Dom breaks, face glued to the zone. Left it booming, memes like no room. Finance, humor mix, making minds blown. Yeah. Airwave twang, culture in the shuffle. Market guesses tucked inside duffels. Digital gold, keep it in a scuffle. David's worth spinning, memes in a tussle.
Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 517, sponsored by Gemini, powered by G Media. It's what you've been waiting for the entire week. In the next few minutes, I will be having a conversation with Ron from the basement. I mean, it's Basement Ron from the basement. I'll ask him exactly how he wants me to pronounce or introduce him to the audience we have here. Want to give everybody a shout out for tuning in to the morning show. You heard the heated debate that I had today. The heated debate that I had today on this very topic. I probably lost my mind. I lost my mind on today's topic. By the way, as you can see, I finally was able to get out there and get my hair cut. Shout outs to getting a haircut. Because I know people are going to be in my DMs like, yo, you got a haircut you got your hair cut because Ron Toshi was coming on? Just want to clear the air real quick. No. Or maybe. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get right to it. I'm excited. I don't know. I think I'm more excited to do this than a future Trump sit down. I don't know. Maybe it's just like what I said in the spaces today. Like maybe I'm just more excited for this than that. You see the smile on my face. Let's go right to it. Let's bring Ron in here. Ron, how's it going, Ron?
It's going good, David. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm glad, pleasure, honored to be here.
I said this morning on my show. I have a show in the mornings. It's Meme Talk Radio, but we talk about everything. Crypto and politics sometimes slides in there. And I was like, I'm really excited. Like this, I don't know what I'm more excited about, a future Trump sit down or this. And I think I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited for Ron.
Wow. Well, I'm honored. Susie and I were listening to you the night before last, and we both agreed. Like, I like this guy. I like his style and like what he says. So thank you.
I apologize for the cursing. It's just the New Yorker in me. There you go. Ron, how did you, this is the most generic. I was driving today and I was like, what do I start off with? Because these aren't interviews for me. They're just conversations.
Sure.
And I'm like, I hate starting off with the most generic question of how did you get into this space? But how do they find you? Or how did you find us?
Yeah. I'll give you the condensed version. It was probably 4 Sundays ago. Susie, my wife, emailed me an article. I think it was from NBC News about Fartcoin. And I was laying in bed. I read the article. I thought, wow, this is crazy. Because it was, Fartcoin, I think it was worth 500 million. And then at the end of the article, it said, it talked about pump.fun and that you can start a meme coin for, I think the article said $5. And I thought, this is, absolutely crazy. So Didn't think much more of it. The next day I was a gold and silver for years live streamer. I did a live stream every day, did my normal live stream. I'm pretty sure during that live stream, I made fun of the fact that there was a meme coin worth $500 million. Got off the live stream, talked to a friend of mine, my cousin's son, I talked about fart coin, and then I said I should start a meme coin because I'd read that article, and he said, yeah, you should call it unicorn fart dust. And I said, you know what, I will. What the heck, right? So I watched a 10-minute YouTube video about how to make a meme coin on Pump.fun. I had never touched crypto in my life. Didn't know what the wallet meant. Didn't know any of that. So like it took about 2 or 3 hours altogether. I mean, it was really easy. It was, people say I'm the developer. All I had to do was like plug in 4 things. Once I figured out the wallet and I didn't know, David, I didn't know anything, man. And so I did it. I made it. I think I launched it on Monday, officially launched it, and forgot about it. And then the next day, Tuesday, I did my normal gold and silver live stream. I was done. I was sitting down here and I thought, I remembered I don't even know where it is. Here it is. This is what the meme is, this little thing. And I'd like, oh yeah, I made that meme coin. And then I'm going to make another live stream. So I made like a 15-minute live stream. I said, I made a cryptocurrency meme coin. It's called Unicorn Fart Dust. Don't buy it because, it's whatever. And as I was making the live stream, somebody bought it on Pump.fun. The market cap went from like 6,000 to anyway, that's really how I got into it. I mean, it was an experiment. We can get deeper into whatever you want to get into, but I wish I was smart enough to plan for this to happen, but it just kind of happened.
Welcome. By the way, I just want to welcome everybody. Everybody's coming in here right now.
Wow.
Welcome to everybody joining me on this program today, along with Ron here on the Breakdown, episode 517. Holy crap. Am I nervous? Sponsored by Gemini, powered by G Media. That's cool. Like, what is it? So what does it feel like being a rock star, I guess, at this point? Because I mean, like, the people, I got to say, you have built a cult.
Yeah.
So like, I was in a space late at night and somebody mentioned unicorn fart dust.
Yeah.
But like, they mentioned it. I didn't really hear it because like people were playing jazz music and like screaming and they said it about 2 or 3 times. And it's usually the women in the space that are really locked in.
Yeah.
We call it the trenches, and like the women are really locked in to the trenches, and they called it twice, 3 times. Apparently somebody said, I heard it after the show. I was like, I guess whatever. Cause we're so like, I don't know if you've seen what's happened here lately in the crypto industry, but you have people locking themselves up in cages. You have people sitting on the toilet saying like, unless my, token hits $50 million, I'm not getting off of my token. I'm not getting off of my toilet. I'm sleeping here forever. So I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. And then I just see this thing start like erupting on the timeline. And then I came on here and I said, you know what? I said, Ron, because I caught a little snippet of a video of you, and I said, here's this guy, Ron. And I say boomer in a nice way. I say it in the most, I mean, it's a compliment.
Right.
And here is Ron. He's trying to bring back stability to the crypto space. So I say this, but then I say boomer, and I think like your fans, your cult, 99% of them got it. 1%, they came after me. So I'm like, guys, I meant that. I literally, when I say boomer, I'm talking about people that get it.
Yeah.
These are people that understand how to work their money.
Yeah.
So I got into conversations. I saw the cult mentality, and I'm like, I invest into cults. Like, that's bullish.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like saw your videos again a little bit, but I also promised on that day, I said, if Ron comes onto the show,
yeah,
I will buy unicorn fart dust. That's
all
it.
Right. Yeah.
We made it happen.
We'll give you your horn. We'll put your horn on you. Yeah.
So what is it? Like you guys do? So I seen something where is it is this really a thing? Like you guys acknowledge each other with? Is
Yeah,
this?
we rub our horns together. No, I mean, the people, when somebody becomes people who don't own unicorn fart dust are called buttercups.
Okay.
And then when they join and they become a duster, they get their horn. So we're going to officially give you your horn. And then I always tell people, go on to Twitter or X. Is it Twitter or X or either? Is there?
You know what? I just say Twitter because when I say X, people think I'm talking about drugs. So I just say Twitter.
You got it. People go on to Twitter and say, I just bought UFD, anything I should know. And like the people are so nice in the community. I mean, they really are nice people. We call it the welcome wagon. They welcome people so yeah, I mean, there's been kind of I guess you would say, like it's only been 3 weeks, but like traditions, and there's certain things that the community does that they did all this on their own, right? I mean, I come on every day and I kind of relay what's happening, but I mean, from the very first minute, David, I had no idea. I thought meme coins were just like, fuzzy little happy characters. And I had no idea. I didn't, if you watch my first live stream, I'm like, I didn't realize what the value is until the first 24 hours. And I started seeing like what the community can do. And they did it from day one. So I'm just kind of like, I only own, and I'm grateful for what I do I own 6,500,000 coins, which is less than 1%.
Yeah.
So it's really been a community. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, it's been a community deal from the very beginning. It really has.
That's awesome. I mean, like people have taken a liking to you. I said this on the show today in the morning. I know that you're not bought. And you're doing that, like you can tell when somebody is genuine about things.
Yeah.
In this space, in this crypto space, I'm sure. Listen, you got 3 weeks under your belt. I'm sure you've learned fast. But like in this space,
yes,
it's just there's so much crap that goes on. It's just like it's a breath of fresh air when somebody comes in here, humble, cool, calm, collective, and you're just having fun with this. Yeah. And like. I see your community, the community that has been established.
Yeah.
The cult the dusters.
The dusters. Yeah.
Which, again, we have X the platform. Now we have dusters. I don't know which way to go with this anymore. But like, you have the dusters, and they're, I would say they're a cult, but they're polite. I didn't really usually I have people like, if I said what I said, which I don't think I said anything wrong.
No.
You would have somebody like chopping at your ankles. I'm coming out with the pitchforks. I'm coming to get you. No, these people like, Dave, you gotta get Ron on.
Yeah.
Ron Toshi, he's great. And I purposely didn't dive deep into UFD because I wanted you to sell me on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because who better than you, right? I wanted to ask you this question though, because I had a debate today. Very heated debate about this discussion. I was team Ron here, and I had 5 people that were coming at me.
Okay.
How many mainstream media news organizations, how many of them have reached out to you?
Like big, like NBC, ABC, those
Forbes, all of them. I mean, like how many of
I'm waiting, and I'm curious why they haven't, because of not because what the community's been doing is really incredible, but just the story of how it happened. I would think it all happened like a week before Christmas. And I mean, just it's an incredible story. So I've had some big radio stations, people like you. I mean, I know you have a very successful media presence. But yeah, we're waiting. We do have a promotional car that's being built that's going to be really cool that some people in the community are doing. Like they just are saying, we're doing this. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And I know that there's going to be some mainstream media coverage on that. But I'd like to get it because I think that it'd be good for the meme coin business in general to be able to like tell the story and get it out there. But it's only been 3 weeks. I think it takes time for it to go. But yeah, I mean, we've been overwhelmed with interview requests and all different types of media. And I luckily have a couple of people from the community who kind of stepped up. They are my trusted community advisors. And they, because I can't keep up with all the emails and messages and all that. So, I think it's growing and growing and growing so far. I don't see why, I guess I just take it each day at a time. And it feels like the message resonates with more and more people. And I think that it could be an opportunity to get people, and I know this is happening, people that aren't in crypto right now, especially people my age, and even people that maybe are in the gold and silver sector that were anti-crypto. I'm getting a lot of messages from them saying, hey, you know what? I bought UFD, or how do I buy UFD? And if we are, as we continue to get listed in more places, I think it'll be easier for maybe even more and more people to come to join the herd, to become dusters like you.
Become
David.
dusters.
To become dusters. Yeah,
I will be becoming a duster today.
I'm happy, man. That's the best news I've had all day. Thank you.
I was you know what? Today told me everything I needed to. Obviously, I'm happy that you came on to the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get a lot of requests. I like to talk to notable people. I like to talk to cool people. I like to talk to anybody that has a real story. And I was going to ask this because you just led into it. It's funny. Precious metals.
Yep.
You've been on YouTube talking about that. That's a passion for you.
Yep.
I know a lot of people look at crypto. As soon as they hear crypto, they think illegal activities. Automatically, they think of that. And you said something like people have started contacting you. So can you, being that you're sitting there and you talk to people that are into precious metals, maybe they're into options, trading and all that, have people, since your story has broke out 3 weeks ago, since the creation, I should say, of Unicorn Fart Dust, have people started coming out to you and saying, hey, maybe I had the wrong perception of crypto. Tell me more about it. People your age. By the way, they're telling me you're 52, so I don't know. It's not like you're on your deathbed here.
54.
54, okay?
Yeah.
Ron's not on his deathbed here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I don't know what, God forbid. But so you've had friends, family members, even viewers contact you and say, hey, maybe I got this whole crypto thing wrong. Can you tell me more about it? Are you getting that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like this morning, I got an email from a guy in Texas I've been following you for 2 years. I have over 100,000 ounces of silver that's vaulted, because you don't want to keep that much silver at your house. He's like, and now I'm buying, I think he said he has 100,000 UFD coins. A lot, David. A guy that works for one of the big mining companies. He's the investor rep. He was texting me yesterday, like, how do I buy this? What do I do? I opened an account with Coinbase and bought, So yeah, I mean, there definitely feels like, I mean, I think that people in precious metals, and this was me 4 weeks ago. If you and I were talking 4 weeks ago, I was a completely different person, right? I was very skeptical. I called crypto unicorn fart dust, right? Like it's nothing. It's based on but
that's the meaning, by the way. So hold on.
Yeah.
For everybody tuning in, you were calling crypto unicorn fart dust because skeptical.
Skeptical. Yes. I'd softened a bit over the last year. But I'll tell you something very interesting. I think people in precious metals, there's like 3 groups. There's people that are in both, right? Crypto and precious metals. There's people that are kind of in the middle on the bubble. And then there is a segment that just like vehemently says, if I can't hold it, I don't own it. If I can't hold this ounce of silver in my hand, I don't own it. And absolutely what I'm sensing is a real softening. I think people are starting to realize, I mean, what's interesting is that the beliefs of the people that are into crypto and the beliefs and the people that are into precious metals are almost completely aligned until you get to that little segment that disagrees on what they do to protect themselves. I mean, we could talk all day about, money printing and, trust me, but there's a big alignment there. And each one I think offers features and benefits that the other one doesn't, right? When you compare the precious metals and you compare that to crypto. So I think there's a big opportunity there. And when when this all started and I like started to wake up a little bit, and I mean it was a transformation for me, like to see where the value proposition is in crypto. I think the future is more electronic. I think there's just, that's kind of where we're heading. So to get back to your question, yes, I do think there's a huge opportunity. And there's a lot of people in crypto that are coming to me saying, I'm really interested in precious metals. So to whatever extent I can be kind of a bridge, I guess you would call it, between the two, I'll be part of that bridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Breakdown, episode 517, sponsored by Gemini. Sign up to Gemini, $1,000 traded, get $100 in Bitcoin. I'll ask Ron later in the show about Bitcoin, get his thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Powered by G Media. Shout out to G Media. The whole staff is tuned in watching Ron. We got some big fans of you, Ron. I got Tammy, who's probably in the chat section here. She loves you. She adores you. She thinks that UFD is phenomenal. So big shout out to Tammy. She's been excited for this one. Okay. I said that, I see you being a huge bridge for retail to get into this space.
Yeah.
And everybody went crazy today on the spaces. Like there were people that agree with me and there were people that disagree with me. I see it as, you are, you and others, because you will obviously be speaking. I'm sure your story will get out there too. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Forbes and, you have NBC and Fox. I am sure these people will start contacting you. I believe that to be true. Your cult continues to grow. Like they are in this chat right now and I can't kick them out. Not that I want to kick you guys out, but they are going and going and going. So eventually they will pick you up. And I feel that I really do feel like people, and it's not really an age thing, but the maturity that you have, obviously, and being in precious metals, it will bring people into the space. I don't know if you ever heard of Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Yes.
Gary came in here. He was all about precious metals. And then he switched from precious metals to Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And by the way, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin before we continue with Unicorn Fart Dust?
I like Bitcoin. To me, the whole transformation that occurred with me with Unicorn Fart Dust and learning about meme coins, I think everything that I learned about that, obviously now Bitcoin makes a lot more sense to me in terms of where the value is. So yeah, I like Bitcoin. I like crypto. I still love silver and gold. I think it's an important thing to say about silver and gold, and I've always said this about silver, is that silver, if you think about it, is almost like the original cryptocurrency. Like it's been around for thousands of years. It survived all different types of political upheaval, wars, everything else. It's kind of like the original physical version, I guess you would say, of cryptocurrency. So I'm fine with Bitcoin. I own Unicorn Fart Dust, and that's been enough for me over the last 3.5 weeks. But
that's enough for me right now. That you guys don't complicate things. Right. Let me ride with this. What is have you seen these animations that they have made of you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
my
was
God.
The best. Huh? Me in my underwear, me. Yeah,
have you seen that? That is.
Yeah.
I thought that was real until for a second, the way I was like, the guy's in his underwears. I mean, like, is this no? But the animations, you as Rambo. I don't know. Have you seen the Rambo? Rocky Balboa, like the unicorn, like the unicorn's everywhere. I got to tell you, this unicorn is everywhere.
Yeah. There's one of Elon Musk riding a unicorn into my basement and taking me away on a ride. And yeah, that's the fun, right? I mean, that's the community. I mean, that was really, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. And almost immediately during that, like first 1, 2, 3 days, I was like, I was dealing with a lot of scams and people really trying to scam me on one side. So I was getting a little jaded, but then the goodness of these people and the fun, and I remember driving down the road and Susie was looking at her phone and she just started cracking up. She's like, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe that," and that's that's a critical component of what we're doing is the fun. And I have I would like to think a good sense of humor. So I love it all, right? I mean, none of it has ever been these people, David, it have been nothing but nice to me. Okay. And I know maybe, but the coin shot up when it first came out and then pulled back and consolidated. And I can be a technical, so, nobody ever has, I have not received anything from anyone except for really nice, kind, funny things. So it's been, I mean, that's what I guess a big part of the community is just doing nice things, being, good to each other. And that's kind of been the rallying cry that the community has taken up.
And that's a critical thing here in this space. People look at numbers and studying your cult. I will call them your cult.
Culture. Yeah.
Studying the community. They don't care. Most of them don't even talk about the number. They talk about one of them said, David, you just don't understand how this all started. You don't understand. And I'm like, well, I'm more than happy to have 2 ears and 1 mouth and sit back and listen. And, listening to you and how excited you are about it. And now understanding that. So I didn't even know this. So unicorn fart dust you came up with that as a thing of, I'm skeptical on the crypto industry. So that's what I'm going to call. Is that, I just want to make sure I clarify.
Oh yeah. You watch my old videos and I was very clear about it in the first video I made about the meme coin is that I always tell people I'm not giving financial advice. Don't listen to me. And you can get evidence of that by watching the first video I made about unicorn fart dust, because I told you not to buy it. And had you put $100 in at that point, it'd be worth $1 million now. So don't listen to me, but yeah, it was, and I didn't make up, somewhere along the line, I heard someone else talk about unicorn fart dust. And somebody pointed out to me, and I have it. I think it's gone off my desktop now, but Elon Musk apparently drew, like in 2017, a picture of a unicorn farting. And I don't know if he called it unicorn.
I remember that meme.
Yeah. So I can't say I'm the inventor of the term. I'd like to think I was, and maybe I was, but I believe I heard it, somebody else mention it. And it struck a chord with me. I always thought it was funny, and it was a part of my show for 3 years. Usually when I was talking about either paper money, like the paper dollar, I would refer to as unicorn fart dust or
which
crypto.
Is worthless. Which is worthless.
Right.
I have my own take on our money that we currently have.
Right.
Obviously, I don't think it's worth much. Obviously, I'm sure maybe you might share the same opinion on that.
I do.
I think it's very important to have precious metals, which obviously you talk about.
And a lot of people, let me throw this in there.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot of people in precious metals who I think are interested and maybe some who are a little bit jealous of crypto, because I was deeply entrenched in the crypto world. And it was very common I'm deeply entrenched in the precious metals world. It was very common in the precious metals world for people, executives who I knew, everybody to say, oh, the crypto took all the speculators out of the precious metals sector. Okay. So there's, including me. Okay. Because I still own a lot, I mean, my biggest investment, I'm not very diversified. My biggest investment is unicorn fart dust. And then the other part is in junior precious metal mining stocks. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not the financial advisor's dream. When they call me on the phone, I say, no, I'm invested in unicorn fart dust, and they leave me alone. But there was a certain level of envy, I think, because crypto had done so well. But I think including me. Okay. And then, but on the crypto side, again, I think I said this already, but there's a lot of people who are also interested in precious metals that have expressed to me their interest in the metals, because everybody kind of has the same like we talked about with the US dollar and the monetary policy and the fiscal policy and just everything going on in the world, right? The geopolitical situations, people are looking for a fair and level playing field, and people are looking for insurance for their money so they can maintain their buying power. And I think silver, gold, and crypto offer that to the everyday average person. It levels the playing field.
Welcome to the breakdown, episode 517, live with Ron. Ron, what is it? Ron Basement Ron? I don't want to butcher your.
You're fine. Anything you want, David. Ron's Basement, Ron. Yeah, that's fine.
Ron's Basement is live with us today on Friday, January 10, 2025. Sponsored by Gemini, powered by G Media. I am loving this conversation. It is a breath of fresh air. You don't understand. I've had to endure for the last few months watching as the crypto space has gone into Pump.Fund. Obviously, you mentioned that earlier today. And I don't know if you've heard about these things, but you've had, people put themselves into cages and, they've taken out guns and would hold their cats hostage. And they would say, like, if the cat is going to get it, if this doesn't reach, $15 million market cap in the next 5 minutes, like this is the stuff that, I've been watching. And I would say I'm a purist when it comes to this space. I'm a Bitcoiner, but I like, there's enough you have enough room for everything else to come in here. And when you're watching this stuff happening, it's just like, man, it's just like, this is not crypto. This is not a good representation of crypto. This is not what we're about. This is not what we went out and talked about in real life, not just on social media. There wasn't a lot of social media back then. People weren't on social media trying to get the latest news on crypto. We had to go out there to talk to people. Yeah. And you see this happening, I feel like we're going in one direction, then you have this stuff happening. It's just like, you almost become defeated. It's like, and people are into this and they're flipping. You see people destroying themselves.
Yeah.
I see you now, and it's a breath of fresh air because who knows? Maybe there's a Ron army that pops off. Maybe there's a bunch of Rons. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a breath of fresh air. Nobody understood me today. It's like, we need structure. Every company needs structure. Yeah. Okay? Structure is good. It's not bad. This is how multi-billion-dollar businesses are built. So when I see you doing what you're doing, it's like you're doing it calm. You're calm about it. You're relatable. You're articulating yourself in a fine fashion. So I became very bullish.
We're going to get your horn. It's interesting you say that because I had no idea what's for these people with cages and toilets and cats. I had no idea that was going on. From the very get-go, I just kind of did what I thought was to the extent that I was navigating this journey, like the right thing to do and like how I would want to be treated. I think, but you brought up an interesting point because as I built my gold and silver channel was very successful. I got like 8 million views last year. I had big companies that sponsored me, mining companies that were publicly traded. So I was aware like how a big company, like the regulations that certain things they can do, not do, the transparency, the disclosures. So look, man, like I said, I didn't plan any of this. This was all a big surprise to me. But like from the very beginning, I thought, well, I want to be transparent with everybody and tell them like, I'm not going to sell. I sold a little half on the first night because I was in shock and I didn't know what was going on. It was a bad decision.
Always take profit.
Well, I sold half like during the first 12 hours. It was a very bad decision in hindsight, but hey, whatever. I won't complain. But I told people then, I'm like, I wanted to be transparent. Like, I'm not going to sell for 10 days. And that was up on Christmas. And then I said, I won't sell anything. And I've actually bought more beans. We call them beans. For the next 3 months, which is March 25th. But whatever I ever do, I'll tell you about it before I do it, which is kind of the way that big big companies are run, so that it's a fair situation. And I figure also, like, the people that are buying these things are trusting me, and I have a responsibility to them. And yeah, sure, money's important, whatever, but at the end of the day, the relationship with people is more important to me, and the people in the community have proven to me that if I'm just myself and I'm honest and upfront and transparent, that they treat me like, it's overwhelming how nice everybody is. There are a lot of nice, good people out there, and
I don't know how anybody could be mean to you.
well, I'm not perfect, anything like that, but it's just been just unbelievable. Really, I mean, I still am like, am I dreaming? Am I really doing this right now? Because it just blows me away. And a lot of them are younger people right now, and it's just, they're sending me pictures of their babies, and and lately on my live stream, of course, with their permission, I get to show the picture of their baby with their little unicorn onesie thing on, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's the people. That's what it is, right? I mean, that's where the value is. I look at these things and I'm like, because look, man, 4 weeks ago, you and I talking, I'd be like, crypto, no value. I don't get it. To me, it was, fuzzy little cute animal things and blah, blah. And what I've learned is that the value, like the price is one thing. And you brought that up, and I'll be quick about this. The price is one thing, right? But the value is in the community, the people, anything that is valuable, whether it be gold, silver, paper dollars, it's because people agree on it. And so the value, I think, in Unicorn Fart Dust, because that's the only one I've had experience with, is in the community and the values created by the people, and by having fun and by having like a mission. And for us, it's, good attracts good. And so it's wild, man. It's wild in a good way.
Do you have a mission? And like, have you sat back? Now it's been like 3 weeks, right? And
Yeah.
have you sat back? And I'm sure you're still in shock, because I see it. I see it. You're a humble individual. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But have you sat back and said, okay, now I got to put a game plan together, or is it just like it is what it is? Like
it is. It's evolving, right? I mean, everything. This has been like a very positive, traumatic experience for me and my family, and my wife Susie. I have kids. I mean, it's wild, right? And to think that sometime in the future we're going to have a car at our house with a big, that's going to look like a unicorn with a big horn on the front, and an actual unicorn horn, and it's been just a great traumatic experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. If I almost didn't do it, David, because I'm such a tightwad. I wasn't. The company that was my gateway into this was a company called MoonPay, and they have and it was a great experience. They have $100 minimum, and I sat there. I thought, $100. Do I really want to do this? And something told me to do it, which kind of led to where we are today. In terms of your question, long-term plan, my vision is that I just want this to be successful on a long-term basis. I want it to go, not to be, and I think maybe we've gotten through this. I was talking with the guy Wiley from the Bored Ape Yacht Club last night.
Okay.
Yeah. And he really cool guy. I mean, really a great, nice guy. He was very nice to me. And I talked with Luca from the Penguin thing. So I've been really fortunate to talk to these guys. And it's like I feel like we've kind of maybe got through the period where we're proving that we're not a flash in the pan, gambling, type token. But what I really want is for this to be a big long-term, something that creates value on a long-term basis. And it's going to do that by the community continuing to be good, and by me continuing to be completely transparent and showing up every day like I said I would. I mean, I did it for 3 years already, and I think, one day at a time, I just keep showing up. And I don't know, I mean, who knows what can happen? I have crazy, I've always been a very, very creative person, ideas in terms of what we could do as Unicorn Fart Dust, but I am laser focused on one thing, and that is Unicorn Fart Dust and the community. And people say, what about merch? What about this? What about that? And I'm like, that stuff can happen in time. Right now, I am focused on this community and building what it feels like a really solid foundation, because I want it to be around for years and years and years. I want it to be exciting as we go, and Catalyst and all kinds of fun stuff. But I want it to be like those little baby pictures that these people send me. I want this to be around for them when they're 10 years old or 20 years old. And I'll tell you, I'm talking too much, so I'll be quiet.
No, I
Okay.
want this.
Okay,
we're
well,
having a conversation.
Okay, well, thank you, because what, so many things happen that turn my light. The other thing that gets me so excited about this is, we talk about here. I'll bring him out. Special visitor for you today, David, is our friend Jerome Powell, right? And I've had this box for 4 years, right? He can print money all he wants, okay, which dilutes the value of the US dollar. We know, all the dollar printed, whatever. The point is, the reason I bring that up is I got so excited when I learned that there's only 999 million Unicorn Fart Dust tokens, coins, beans. We call them beans because jelly beans give unicorns gas, and that makes Unicorn Fart Dust. Anyway, there's 999 million of them. That if we build a community, like a solid community of people, and every day we get new people that come in, and I think maybe you said today you might get your horn, right?
I'm getting my horns today. Okay. I'm becoming a duster today.
You are. You never know. You may be the duster of the day one of these days, because we have that. But you get more and more people. If there's this many beans, and we get more and more people, right, that become, what do they call that? Well, our community calls it diamond hoofed. That at some point there's a shortage of beans, right? And I kept asking, because I was learning on the fly. It's like I got on a rocket ship and had to learn how to fly the rocket. I kept asking smart people like you, so what's to keep Unicorn Fart Dust from being as big as XYZ coin or this or any other meme coin? And everybody would say there's nothing, right? Like I think what resonates with the community is like, it really is a fair and level playing field. And while we're out in the main economy and we're out in the the regular stock market, people feel like maybe it's not a fair and level playing field. Like right here, we got 999 million beans, and the more of us that get them and hold on to them, that's combined with the value of the community, like this could be a big thing, right? But it is
a big thing.
It is a big, yeah. I mean, it's already, yeah.
It's, you have this. I'm now starting to understand this lore behind. Like I am going to, after this show, I'm gonna have to replay it also, and I'm trying to write down as much as I can, but I'm trying to listen to you. So like I don't want to just like, yeah, I'm writing here. He's like, oh, he's not even paying attention to me. This is probably the first time that I'm just like leaving the pen alone and just listening. I think you have the lore. Like the lore is what you just explained here today on the show. It's just like, I didn't know, like you were calling crypto Unicorn Fart Dust like that. All of this, like you bringing out that Jerome Powell toilet paper, like that is us. Like we make jokes about them all the time, about the money printer goes brrr all the time. Yeah. I mean, they print themselves out of all situations. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tammy, I see. You told me so. Tammy, she works for G Media. She says, I bet you're going to like him. Well, yeah, I do like Ron. I think he's going to adopt me at this point.
I liked you, Susie, and I the other night. And we listened to like 10 minutes. And I was like, I said, I like this guy. I like him a lot. So, yeah.
I'm just in New York. I'm very blunt. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, when you first meet me, you might think I'm arrogant. I'm not. I'm not arrogant. We're just taught to be this way. Okay. Yeah. I'll hold the door for you, Ron. If I see you walking in, I'm holding the door. A lot of these New Yorkers won't. I'm holding the door.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm holding the door.
Well, you
Ladies
know
and
what?
gentlemen,
And you know what, David? That's what really, just to circle back to this duster community, that's what the community is about. Like I always use I have twin 12-year-old daughters, okay? And it drives them crazy that when we go through the drive-through at McDonald's, we have McDonald's right up the street, and I'm not a big, but it's so close. We go there about once a week, a lot more now that our life's been turned. But anyway, I'm always like go out of my way not to be crazy, but to be nice to the people at the drive-through window and say, I always say there's a magic word, and that's appreciate. I'll say like, I appreciate you being here today because, and then my daughter's like, oh, or I'll say you're very pleasant because a lot of times, they're like working, and I'll tell my daughter, I'm like, these people are here working, giving us the food, right? And that type of feeling is what I get, if that makes any sense whatsoever,
it
from
does.
the
It
duster
definitely does.
community. Or if you're on the phone with you know what it's like to be on the phone with the help people from Amazon or from your cable company or whatever, and like they're working, you're frustrated, but you can go that little extra mile, and it like feels good. It feels good. I'm selfish. I'm sorry. I mean, I am, like, it feels good to be nice to people and
Yeah.
to hold doors, like you said. Anyway, I got off on a
Is
tangent. I
that
apologize.
the good attracts good? Is that what you came up with that? The good attracts good?
You know what? It's kind of like the name Unicorn Fart Dust. I don't know. Maybe I did. Everything's been such a blur, man. Either I came up with it or one of the community did, and I can't definitively say who. I'd like to take credit for it, and I think that's probably the case. But maybe I put it out in a tweet, but somebody else could have made it up.
But that represents your community. I mean, that's
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
feels.
I tell you what we're doing, and I'll be quiet. There's a company that starts with the B, which is a big exchange company, and they sponsor a Formula One race team, and they have a contest for the helmet for their driver for the Australian Grand Prix. And so the community's like entering. You get to design the helmet, and our dream is that we're going to get it, and the back of the helmet's going to say "Good attracts good." But we'll see, right?
That is dope. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the breakdown. Episode 517. Sponsored by Gemini. Again, $1,000 traded, $100 in Bitcoin once you sign up. And G Media, the network that powers these shows. I'm here with Ron. I'm gonna say Ron's basement. I listen. I said the entire time. I'm gonna ask Ron how he wants me to, pronounce his name here. I'm just gonna call you Ron. I think you're good with that,
Great.
right? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
cool.
I'm cool. Yeah, yeah, that's great.
I don't know. I think they're calling you Messiah in this chat right now. I'm like,
No.
look, I'm going back and forth. The Messiah is here. Hey, look at Ron. Ron's too humble. Take it on. Ron has come here on a unicorn to save us. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. What is the coolest thing that you've seen in the last three things? What is the coolest thing that you have got in the last 3 weeks from somebody within the community?
There's it has been, and I'm not avoiding your question because probably if the feeling that I got from the community from day one, okay, that was, I mean, here's about 36 hours into this. I did the first live stream saying, don't buy this, it's unicorn fart dust, blah, blah, I was like just announcing it. And then that night that it took off, because it was about 24 hours later that it started exploding. And I remember being out on our screened in porch, and Susie and I were in shock, and I still owned the 6.5 million coins, and I promised I would wait 10 days. And I remember looking at my phone, at my wallet, which I didn't know would exist 2 days prior, and it said like $1.3 million. And I was like, wow, like that's a lot of money to me and a lot of money to most people, a lot of money, life-changing money for my family. And I remember the feeling of like, in certain friends they were like, no, sell it. Were you crazy? Whatever. And I remember this feeling coming over me that was like, and David, it's indescribable, like this deep knowing that I wanted to stick with this community that was forming. And like I just knew, sometimes and I was just in my whole body, like, stick with this. this is good. I don't want to tear up talking about it. That's probably, I mean, a feeling is and a good feeling is boy, and I feel like I'm getting really corny here, but that's as good as anything, right? Like physical stuff. Now, people are sending me a neon sign. I'm looking forward to that. I think Luca from the Pudgy Penguins sent a bunch of penguins I got to go pick up at our mailbox there in a little bit.
That's really cool of Luca. Shout out to
Yeah.
Luca. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I really he's been really nice to me. You know, this guy Min, I don't know if you know Min Dynasty, he's been very nice to a lot of people. Gigi, just I mean, people have been, it's probably the feeling that I've gotten, right? Because, you know, I've got a lot of stuff. If you could pan around my basement, I got enough stuff, right? But the camaraderie and the feeling, the pictures of the babies for some reason get me every time, because I'm, you know, these people like, oh, I just say one guy, his baby's due date was on the same day that Unicorn on December 16th was created. And, you know, it's very touching. People have been generous, you know, helping support, because it was a big transition for our family when, you know, when I switched from being a purist gold and silver guy to being a pretty much a purist crypto person right now. I do hope to meld those two together a little more, as you know, some point in the future. But yeah, it's probably the experience, you know, and I've read that. I've got a thing I keep over there on my other desk that like a hospice nurse wrote an article, the 5 things that people regret. And one of them is experiences, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, experience and having, and this experience, man, is like, it's good is all, I guess all I can say about it. It's good.
How can you not? I don't like, guys, like if you're watching this, I don't know how you cannot like not financial advice. If you got, for those who have been following me a long time, you know, I don't endorse anything unless I really like it. I mean, how can you fade this? Like, I don't know how you can fade this at all. You know what? You're exactly what this space needed. I'm being serious. You're exactly what this space needed. Like, because I'm sure everybody would agree with me watching. As I said earlier, this space, I don't know, experimenting, if that's what people want to call it. I wasn't into the experiment. I didn't like it. Like I said, I'm a purist. But seeing you here and just like the way you speak and articulate yourself, the passion, you could have sold at 1.3, you know, and a lot of people would have. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of people would have smashed the button. And yes, you know, the liquidity part probably wouldn't be there, but you could have got, you know, a good amount
Right.
out, and you could have left the community as is. And then there would have been a CTO, and then people would have tried to resurrect it, but you just stayed. And like, I can see it. I can see that, you know, we can all read BS. Everybody, good story, good salesperson. I can feel it. And I really, 3 weeks is a long time in this space. You know, it's usually after 72 hours, you know, if it's going, you know, if it's going to go ahead and last here or it's going to zero. 3 weeks and you're here. I don't even know what the market cap is right now. I'm not even looking at my phone today.
Yeah.
Let me check. Hold on. What is the market cap of Coin?
It was over 100 million.
Let's check right now. It is at 113, 114. That's pretty good. I got to tell you, on Solana, you're at 114. The market is obviously choppy right now. Yeah. We're waiting. You know, I think everybody's waiting in anticipation of Trump coming into office.
Yeah.
And then I think then we take in a few, maybe a week or two later, I think we finally start trending upwards. It might be sooner. I don't know. But you have the ingredients. I don't know what to say at this point. You have the community. You got the personality. They're calling you the Messiah. I think I want you to adopt me. I mean, you got a lot of things going here, Ron.
It's great. I mean, and I want to ask you a quick question, because when I look at when this happened, right, on December 16th, Bitcoin was at that point, I think 108,000. I looked at it last night.
Yeah.
And it feels like that. So the 3.5 weeks that this community, right, with my showing up every day, like I do my little part, which is show up every day, do the live stream. And Uh, but over that period, it's been a bit of a difficult, not a bear market, but a difficult crypto environment, in that the community, like we have lasted 3.5 weeks, but we've kind of like been running into the wind, or as a unicorn might say, flying into the wind. And I have a hard time conveying this, but I'm like, that makes what this community accomplished even more, I'm going to say impressive, but makes the community stronger. It's not like we had a good tailwind. We were kind of, fighting, and that when things do turn, that it could be possibly even a better environment, looking at the price. But, I mean, I know the little bit that I know about the meme coin sector, like the community eventually dictates in the end, like the strength of the community is the most important thing. So, I say it all the time, like, sure, I know what the price is. I keep an eye on it from time to time during the day. But, and as somebody who traded stocks and gold a lot over the years, like I know what it's like to stare at a ticker screen all day long. It's like, I don't want to do that. Like if I'm focused on whatever I can do to help foster our community. And in the end, doesn't it, I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Like, doesn't it the community that dictates how well these things do?
The community, I mean, people dictate everything in life, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who puts the price, I said this before, like Supreme shirts. I don't know if you know about Supreme shirts, but who puts the value on them? Who puts the
Yeah.
value on Nike and Adidas? The people
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, the people put value on items. And the cool part about listening to you speak today is just that you, like I said 5 minutes ago, you have the ingredients. You have a community that's passionate. Obviously, you're here. You didn't leave. You didn't just abandon ship and just take small profits. It could have been big profits for you, but you didn't leave. You didn't leave the ship.
No.
Okay, you didn't. You stood on the Titanic. Well, hold on.
No, right.
There's a better ending than the Titanic, by the way. But you've done everything possible to put together. I feel put together this type of army, and it's unique. It really is. And when a lot of people will say that, hey, Dave, you're jumping the gun. Okay. To me, though, I always look at the community. I read what the community has to say. And most of your community members are not talking about price. They're talking about how much fun they are having being a part of this movement. That's what I'm reading. So when you see that, the sky's the limit. It's really up to you. It's in your hands now. Even though you can say it's also a part of, it's also in the hands of the community, it really is in your hands. I mean, merch, I think merch would be great. I'll wear the merch. Give me a unicorn suit. Let's go. I'm going to be a duster after this show, so give me the unicorn suit. Give me the horns, okay? Let's go. Look, I'm even watching my language out of respect.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I can see you. I can see your horn forming, even though your haircut looks nice. So you know.
Thank you so much. A lot of people say I got a haircut because you came onto the show. I'll say that the barber finally showed up, but maybe I'll go with, hey, I got a haircut. I went ahead and adjusted things for your appearance, but I would love to. I don't know. I'd love to have you back on. I would really love to have you. If you have the time, like obviously you're going to be busy, but if you have the time to slot me in for 30 minutes, and maybe we'll reach out. Maybe Leslie Moda, who's the COO of G Media, I don't know. Maybe we can reach out and I don't know, sponsor one of your shows. I don't know.
Right.
I think, man, I am happy I didn't research you before the show. And next time, though, now I'll be able to, obviously, becoming a duster, which I'm not yet, but as soon as I pull the trigger, I'll be a duster and we can do the whole, okay?
Put the horn on you. We're going to make you duster of the day sometime. So
duster
be ready.
of the day.
The golden horn.
This is the gold. I've been here for so long. If I get the duster of the day, it'll complete my journey.
Yeah.
But
I've never been to New York City. So you'll be the first guy, but as long as you promise to hold the door for me when I come in, I'm going to hold you to that one.
You come to New York City. If you tell me you're coming to New York City,
Yeah.
I will make sure to meet up with you and we
Yeah.
can sit down and have a really cool one-on-one.
Yeah. No,
Okay. And
seriously. Yeah.
I'll make sure you'll pay for, no, I'm kidding. I'll pay for everything with the beans. Okay.
With the
Now I'm
beans. Yeah.
learning the lingo here. The beans. I'm going to pay with the beans and we'll have a good conversation.
Yeah.
By the way, Happy New Year to you and your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless you and your family. I
Yeah.
mean, nothing
Yeah.
happens by accident.
No,
So,
it's been my Susie, my wife is awesome. We've been married 20 years. She's very supportive of everything going
oh,
on.
she has to be supportive right
Yeah,
now.
she is.
Tell Susie she has to be supported
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. She
Has
is.
she turned around? Honestly, has she turned around to you and said, "What'd you get yourself into?" Like,
Oh yeah,
has she-
I'll never forget this. It was like the second or third night, and I had a snoring problem, so we always have slept in separate rooms. And I got up to use the facilities, which happens to be connected to the master bedroom, which is where she sleeps. And I was walking through the room, and it was like 3 in the morning, and I saw a glow from where she was in bed, and I'm like, and she said to me, she's like, did you see that was like the second night when the market cap got to like 240 million. She's like, did you see the market cap? And I'm like, no. She's like, it's 240 million. And I was like, I said, I think they're going to make a movie about this someday or something, Susie. So no, she's the best. She when I'm on my live stream, she talks through the walkie-talkie, so she always says hi to me. Because she helps, because I know you do live streams, and it's like,
yeah.
sometimes I'll think I got a screen pulled up and I don't. I got, pictures of our dog, or we don't have our cat or whatever. But so she'll say, so yeah, she's awesome. And yeah, no, this has been great. I'm telling you, like I said, I listened for like 10 minutes, not last night, the night before. And I told her, I said, I'm looking forward to this. I like this guy. So, hopefully we can continue our communications and relationship. Well, you're going to be part of the herd. You're going to be a duster. So
I'm a duster. It seems like you're kicking me out. I'm about to buy and become a duster.
Yeah, no,
I'm staying. I'm not going to be no buttercup.
Buttercup. And
I don't want to be no buttercup.
And I'll tell you what, because this car they're building is going to be unbelievable. It's called the Duster. The community voted on it. It's going to be awesome. So, and I promise that when certain milestones are reached, I'm going to drive it around to different cities. When I bring it to New York City, you get the first ride in the front seat, and you get to honk the fart horn. So
can we do like an episode like Jerry Seinfeld does, Cars and Coffee, except we're in the the unicorn dust mobile, and we're talking, driving down, going to Montauk.
You can show me around. You can show me around New York City, because I've never been there. That'd be great.
That's awesome. Again, God bless you.
All right, buddy.
God bless your family.
Yeah.
Actually, thank you very much for coming into this space. And I hope more, I just hope this project, I really do pray that this project is successful. Seriously, I think seeing all the people in this chat today and seeing how people were excited for you to come on today, I like to see it just, I like to see, I don't even want you guys, and this is a message to all you guys, don't compare it to anything else. It is what it is. That's
it's
it.
A unicorn.
It is unicorn fart dust. That's it. Don't compare it. You got your leader. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can connect and bring you on. I don't know, during this month, at the end of the month, next month, whenever you're available.
Okay. And likewise. Yeah, no, it'd be great. I love it. Maybe in a couple weeks, be back on, and I'll look forward to it. Thank you. Okay.
And where can people catch your show before you go? Where can people catch your show, and what time?
It's on X, sometime between, I guess it would be like 10 and 11 Eastern time.
Okay.
So about 9 or 10 o'clock my time, Central. And we usually try to announce it beforehand, but then the replay is always available as well. And I'll encourage all the dusters who are here today, make sure you follow our friend David. I really enjoyed this, and I feel a connection with you, and I'm going to feel even more connected when I know you officially get your horn right later on today.
I'll send it to you right after I'm done with the show. I appreciate you,
Yeah,
Ron.
likewise.
God
Yeah.
bless. Have a great weekend. And
All right,
again,
buddy.
Happy New Year.
Okay, thanks, David.
That was Ron from Ron's Basement, the creator of Unicorn Fart Dust. There you go with the. Well, I can't do the horns yet. I'm still a buttercup. I'm still a buttercup. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still a buttercup. Until I buy, I'm a buttercup. I purposely did not look into Ron. I wanted to feel his vibe. And I felt something. Like, seriously, I feel, yo, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to replay this show. You feel like you feel honest energy, man. Like that energy is it cannot be faked. That energy, that's real. That's a humble individual. I now understand why people were banging on the door and telling me get Ron on the show or get into UFD. Like I get it now. So I felt that energy. Like, and I wanted, obviously, in these conversations that I have with people, like I actually want to hear from the person. You guys know how I do this. I want to hear, that person, break down things for me, rather than me speaking the entire time. But yeah, I mean, like that. I hope you guys don't compare this to anything else. Don't compare it to Pepe. Don't compare it to Mog or like don't compare it to things. Just this is Unicorn Fart Dust. That's it. Because you know what happens when as soon as you start comparing it to something else, and then drama and beef starts all over the place, and everybody's fighting. It is what it is. Good attracts good. The line hits me. This man represents good attracts good. I don't know what to say. Like if you didn't feel what was happening here right now, then you're dead. I don't know what to say. I really like. I'm usually one that has a lot of things to say. I don't. Wow. It's 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 a cult, but it's like a cool cult. It's not like, for the time being, it's a cool cult. And we know what happens. Sometimes the cults turn nasty, but like I don't know. I don't know. Uh, And thank God this is not a CTO. Like thank God I'm not talking about some goddamn CTO. Him telling the story about like, looking at $1.3 million, life-changing money for him and his family, and not pushing the button. That just speaks on the individual, right? He could have pushed the button, he could have been out. He didn't do that. So that says a lot about him. And now, if you're just tuning in for the first time to listen into Ron and understand what Unicorn Fart Dust is, like, I mean, that's what you walk away with. Yeah. And shout out to Gigi, and shout out to Luca, for, I hope they gave him good advice. The lore, I didn't know that the Unicorn Fart Dust was a shot in some sense towards crypto. This, yeah, I have a lot. I'm going to replay this show. I don't usually replay my own show and watch it, but this is one where I'm actually going to watch this show and listen in and write all this stuff down. I will be going into Unicorn Fart Dust. I'm going into UFD. No doubt about it. I will be going in. It's a good story. It's a feel good story, and at the end of the day, I said what I said. I hope there's 1,000 more Rons that come into this space, because 1,000 more Rons would actually make this space a lot more better. It would bring structure to our meme economy, which I get it. It's decentralized. I get it. But I'm just saying more Rons and less people holding guns to fish, holding a gun to their cat, putting themselves in the goddamn cage. Like, I guess more Rons than more of that shit, right? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is The Breakdown, episode 517, sponsored by Gemini. Trade $1,000 in Gemini, get $100 in Bitcoin. Also, powered by G Media. You know the network. You know what time it is. Shout outs to everybody in G Media. Got a lot of partnerships in the works. We got a lot of people joining G Media. There'll be more announcements on that. So that's really cool. Man, I've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of notable people too. This is funny that I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like, this guy Ron is like really cool, and this dude is special. That's a special dude, bro. That's it. That's how I'll leave it. And I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who tunes in to this show on a weekly basis. And thank you to everybody who tunes in to Meme Talk Radio, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really do appreciate every one of you guys who's been on this wonderful journey with me ever since I've popped on to the scene. My table is always big enough for everybody. That's it. And yeah, if we had more Rons in this world, we'd be in a better place, man. Legit, 100%. If we had more Rons in this world, we'd be in a better place. Shout out to the entire Duster community. Shout out to all you Dusters. Okay, right now, I'm a buttercup, apparently, because I don't have UFD, but I will be getting UFD as soon as the show comes to an end. Okay? I'll be a UFD. I'll be a Duster. Be a Duster. Man, this shit. Noble had it on his goddamn space, man. Luna called it, and I think it was Empress too. God damn it. I could have been in at 7 mil. But you get in at the price you deserve. You get in at the price you deserve. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If you like this show, if you like me, and I know you, it's undeniable, you gotta love me. Follow, notifications, put your notifications on. Shout out to the YouTubers that tuned in, LinkedIn, you boomers from LinkedIn who tuned in, Rumble. We're going to put the API in for TikTok, okay? And we're making a Facebook page. We're going all boomer. And on that note, legends, on that note,
Tuned in my old truck radio, hear the static crackle clear. David Goxton on the airwaves, Meme Talk every morning here. He says Pepe's on the rise, boys. Bobo's got a billion dreams. In the back roads of our small town, we live for these meme streams. G Media's blowing up, red or green candles flashing by. Watch the charts like they're the Bible. In the meme
shout out to Sakasa and Jungle Bay for this, the #1 country song.
Crypto jokes and market schemes.
We're winning the award on CMA, the CMA Awards. We're going to win the award, Single of the Year.
Finance dreams. Meme Means in the morning, rolling through our days. Pepe's making headlines, there's no other way. David's got the riz, he's holding it so tight. Means in the morning till the late night light.